Hey y'all, it's Luna coming at you with some Omega energy. Relax, relate, release. Now, today I'm taking a little break from myself, but I'm also going to be, I'm trying to think of the phrasing for it, but modeling behavior. There it is. Mercury retrograde has been Mercury retrograding all over me. And I know I'm not the only one because I've talked to my friends, talked to my clients. I'm giving my face a little bit of a break and a breather. The skin can stay effervescent that way. At least I think so. I don't wear too much on here because my skin is stiff. But today, just for today, decided to go plain Jane again. Most of the time when I'm on here, I'm talking to my clients. When I say on here, I mean the phone. Talking to my clients or my friends or whatever via video. So I have a little something on the eyes. Why am I talking about that? Because presentation does matter. One of the things I've been ranting and raving about with my friend circles and on social media is that even though presentation does matter, a false presentation of who you actually ain't is not serving anybody. Now, you might think it's serving you because you can make money that way. A lot of people do nowadays. They get on social media and they present a certain aspect of themselves that is a complete false persona. Over time, though, they can get the clicks and the likes and all these things, and that's not a horrible thing until you realize that there's ramifications for that. And it's one of those reasons why I struggle with this battle. One of the reasons why I get on here and I get nervous, y'all think it's because I have a fear of being in a public eye or something like that. No, it's not that. For me, I have apprehension about speaking something that isn't true unintentionally, presenting things in such a way that is in some way harmful or detrimental, saying something that is incorrect that's supposed to serve a purpose that unintentionally causes harm to somebody. All these things are running through my head right prior to me starting doing what I'm doing, okay? It's one of the reasons why I can only do this one time a week at this particular point. And y'all seen me over time, those of you who come back and watch a little bit and download and whatnot and share with each other, and I don't mind that. I would prefer that over coming back and seeing the ticker go up very, very quickly, because then the anxiety will raise and I'll rewatch myself. I'm just telling y'all my process. I'll rewatch myself just to see, did I mess up? Did I say something incorrect? Is that going to have some kind of long-term ramifications on somebody I'm actually intending to help? Because that does factor into how I process this and what I do. Okay? Now, excuse Empress. Y'all know Empress is my dog. She wants attention sometimes when I'm on here. And she almost never bonks. I'll say during session with my clients. But if I'm on here doing a video or just talking to somebody just regular, she wants the attention. I have no idea why. Anyway, Mercury retrograde then Mercury retrograding all over me as it pertains to presentation. Taurus energy, at least in my assessment thus far, is very keenly aware of presentation. It's like Taurus, Libra, and Leos. That energy is with them because it's all about opulence and beauty and the presentation of everything looking good and all this stuff, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. In essence, just like drinking water, right? Think about it, where I'm going with this. When you drink water, you are rehydrating yourself. But if you drink 2 gallons back to back, you're going to the hospital if you survive doing that. So there can be too much of something. And right now, I think it is very prudent for people who have any kind of mental health education or training, anybody in these social sciences or helping professions, whether that be spiritual or otherwise, to be more cognizant and aware of the presentation that they're giving. And not the ones that are like cussing and fussing and all this stuff, that's just everywhere, right? But the ones who are pretending to be happy and go lucky and go free, and then that's not what's really going on. You are not serving a purpose in that way. Also, doing research before you speak. And when I say doing research, literally, if you haven't lived that experience to have some kind of context for it, just reading out a book may not be, prudent enough to say that is my lived experience and that is the context of what I'm speaking from. I'm saying this because there's a lot of people that I've either encountered via just living in the world or seeing as clients or just happenstance that are being negatively impacted by these type of ideas and ideals. Understanding that it is prudent to not just be seen, but to have a conscious awareness that we're all impacting each other, especially when we're doing so publicly. Now, I'm not going to say I've always been nice online, because there are times I am absolutely not. I try to be more often than not. Now, when I'm being direct, it's because I have a direct message to convey. And even then, I don't intend to, in essence, be harmful. Now, I'll be honest with you. There are times where I did intend to be harmful. I don't practice what I say and what I do in a public way that way, nor in a private way that way. I think that there's better ways now. I've learned better ways to deal with stuff like that. I didn't have other ways at that time. I don't knock myself. That self was doing the best she can do with the tools she had. But now I got other tools. I have better ways of dealing, better ways of getting around stuff. And I think that it's time that a lot of us, especially as helpers, start being more responsible for the things we say and the things we do, if we're actually trying to help. Now, there's every other week I quit. It's every other week I quit. Why every other week I quit? Because of the nervous energy I experienced before coming on camera. Once I'm on here, I'm all right. But before coming on camera, sometimes, and I explain where that comes from. But, and however, after I'm on camera, I'm good. But the other reasons why I feel like I'm going to quit, not my day job. I love my clients. I love my students. I love my babies. Okay? They don't give me any kind of stressors or anything like that. The reason why I feel that way often, probably every other week nowadays, is because the world at large is the way it is, and I'm not the only one who's feeling some kinds of strains from that from time to time, right? And that stems from us wanting to change things and not really 100% knowing the full answer to how to change it, or knowing the answer and knowing that it would take so much and it's such an uphill climb that you just feel overwhelmed with the thought, and that's typically what I experience on a regular basis. And realizing that there's a lot of situations in which I feel very alone and actually wanting to change things in a way that I'm involved in. And follow me. And when I say a way that I'm involved in, I don't want to be involved with none of it. Be honest. When I say a way that, and this light has been, okay, so I share this office, and so sometimes the light's adjusted and all that stuff. Anyway, hope that's better. If we all are involved in even a small way in the adjustment of the vibe, and when I say the vibe, I mean of the entire collective, it would move. When I wake up, and I took a long time to say that, when I wake up and I go to scroll on any platform or social media, that's not the first thing I do, but when I do, I go straight to like different areas where I can find some accurate news or some semblance of accurate news, which is not many places, I'm be honest, that doesn't have just people's opinions shouting at each other. And all I see are things that are showing me what the collective vibe is. And then I'm like, okay, that might not be the truth, because a lot of times the truth ain't gonna be found in the news. Okay? Then I look at what people are saying to each other, posting about themselves in general. It's like taking a sample size, no different than a statistician. And I realized what the vibe is and that it didn't change from yesterday or it got worse since yesterday. And that is incredibly heartbreaking. And you would think I would want to do something. But here's the thing. Every time I do something, come here, y'all. Let me share. I'm going to have some therapy with y'all real quick. Every time I do something, things change. But not enough to make much of a difference right now. At least in my assessment. I could be wrong about that. So it's been a long time since I've actually dipped my toe in and changed anything. Or tried to create change for anything. Because I'm like, why waste the effort? And I don't know if that's a bad way to feel about it. I feel guilty about it sometimes, but I still feel like I make the right decision every time I say, yeah, that sucks, but nah. I'm going to keep on making my changes within myself. And anybody who wants to learn from me, because that's the way I can do that and still sleep well at night, because I see the progress in real time. I think that's easier for me to process on an emotional level, is seeing the progress in real time. I'm sharing that with you for my own purposes, but it also maybe can benefit somebody out there who may be doing some kind of job or some kind of work, or is the linchpin in their friend circle. It could be anything. Maybe, just maybe, some of your vibration, especially if you're well-intentioned, can be the thing that sparks something in that person, who sparks something in the next person, who sparks something in the next person, and create a different vibe. Because right now, truth be told, the vibe that's being created may not be the best for everybody. And the vibe that we all kind of like gotta chill under should in some way benefit everyone. The overall collective of people. Like, we figure out how to write ourselves in such a way that everybody ain't gonna get everything they want, but at least they'll get everything they need and some of what they want. And that's a hard place to get to. But I'm hoping, and there's a part of me that's still hopeful that we can get there. I'm just not trying to recruit nobody to help me no more. It's like I have enough in my hands and on my hands for me to do without having to worry about if somebody's legit or corrupt. I don't have it in me anymore. That's one of the other things that a Mercury retrograde is, remembering all of that. So I'm just like, yeah, nah. But again, I still have a little bit of hope, just like boots. Most days, even on the worst days, I have a little bit of hope. And that hope is what keeps me going most days. My clients do help. Any of you that decide to circle back, they don't have to come in here and look, because we go over a lot of this stuff in great detail in session. But sometimes they do come by. And if you do, I appreciate it. But yeah, a little bit about me. I know I didn't put much astrology in this, but my hope is to be a bit less Aquarian, closed off, and more open in a way that hopefully inspires you all to be a bit more yourselves and be a bit more bare naked and open and honest with yourselves and those around you. And that way you can model that behavior instead of a lot of the stuff that we're seeing that is setting expectations so high for some of these, especially young folks who are impressionable, and other, not just the young folks. I mean, even in the mom sphere of things, there's pressure to be this perfect looking and being mom, and I'm just like, or dad, or whatever. And I'm like, just be you. Sometimes you roll out of bed and wear the same t-shirt all day. I know I do. Maybe everybody don't do that, but I do. Today, right now, bare face, mismatching. Sometimes it be like that. And I saw my clients this way too. I'm clean, it's fine. I think what I want to convey at this particular time is that maybe we can change a bit of the vibe of depression, anxiety, and, I don't know, violence via frustration if more of us cared about caring, being who we truly are, and also paying more attention to what's really going on and not what's trending. That's like a side note. This is what's trending. Let's do this or pay attention to this. I'm just like, y'all realize that we're having a mass shooting per day almost now? Per day? And it's not a gun debate. This is just me saying that is a problem. Whatever this causing that particular problem, maybe we should try to focus on solutions to that instead of just complaining about it or looking away because now we're numb to it. Because every single horrific thing that we get numb to just perpetuates and gives birth to the next horrific thing for us to be first shocked by and then get numb to. What is it in? Astrology, or just basically speaking about astrology here is, look, I love astrology. But at this particular point, how is that beneficial to you if the world is crumbling down around you? I can give you some real world experiences and thoughts while sprinkling. I'll use it as pepper and salt and sprinkling on there every now and again. But right now it's getting to a critical point. Things are getting to critical mass and people seem to be more and more numb to the reality that things are getting to a critical mass. My hope is that my words are heard or felt. The good thing about the blessing that it is being me and doing what I do, like I can see my clients one-on-one, no problem. I love that, right? I do this and sometimes go on Facebook, and right now I need to break from it. So it won't be there for a little bit. But however, when I am on there, this is the vein in which I'm speaking from. This past full moon did me in, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, it did me in such a way. When I say it did me in, I'm being dramatic. It was just really harsh. I have Scorpio, the transit that moved through the full moon and the equal opposite energy pulling on Mercury in it, and just, it felt like Mercury and the moon was tussling, okay? And so my 11 and 12 house was like, you know what? Everybody's kung fu fighting. I can't stand this. I can't stand that. I want to fight this. I need revenge on that. And I'm just like, let me sit here and process. What am I really feeling? Let's talk about that. Put it in a cogent context and express that instead of just being mean and standoffish and closed off. And so that's what I did. But it doesn't mean it didn't wear me out to even be that open and free. It always does. I guess I'm encouraging you. Not guess. I know. I'm encouraging you to be more open and free about who you truly are. What if I'm ostracized? Well, you might be, but maybe if we feared less about being ostracized, more and more of us would be happy. Now, I'm not saying I'm happy every single day in every single instance, but I find it happy in my own little ways. But I sleep well at night knowing that I'm always who I truly am, whether I'm online, in public, hanging out with friends, working with clients. I'm me. There is no other persona. The fact that we've been socialized to have another is problematic, and the mental health of the collective is showing that right now. Just give that some thought. Y'all loved.